So there has been so much negative talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. There's so many different things people are discussing. Oh, the console is too expensive, the accessories are too expensive, Mario Kart World's $80, Bonanza is so expensive, Bonanza's too easy, Mario Kart World removed this racing, the traditional three lap races. Mario Kart World isn't open enough. There's all these different complaints people are making about this system, and I just wanted to come with my own perspective that I don't really see reflected too much out there in the YouTube world. And my perspective is that the Nintendo Switch 2 is basically a console that was made for me. Honestly, I feel like I agree with nearly everything that Nintendo has chosen to do here. For me, when I look at the decisions that the president of Nintendo has made, I think this guy thinks very similar to me. I think his decision making process has been very similar. So, to explain what I mean when I say that I feel the Nintendo Switch 2 was made for me, the first thing I would say is that I was a GameCube kid. The GameCube is probably my personal favorite console of all time. It's to me really the console of my childhood. For me, I just have so many memories of the GameCube era. Like the first game I got for it was Melee. There was so much of that time: Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin 1 and 2, Mario Sunshine, Beautiful Joe 1 and 2, Resident Evil 4, hugely influential game on that system. Soul Calibur 2, arguably the best version of Soul Calibur 2, was on the Nintendo GameCube. And for me, it was a system that had so many memories. So at F Zero GX, the greatest racing game of all time, like, it's a system that had so many memories for me. And seeing that Nintendo comes out of the door swinging with, like, yeah, we're giving you GameCube Collection with Wind Waker, F Zero GX, and Soul Calibur 2 right out the gate, that to me is like, whoa, you guys reached out straight to like my middle school, early high school days. This was like a foundational time of my gaming life. I know the PS2 and the Xbox were huge back in those days, but I was just one of the GameCube kids, man. I did play games on Xbox, obviously, like the first two Halo games. PlayStation, I had a PlayStation 2. Like, obviously, PlayStation 2 had one of the best libraries ever. But the ones that I remember probably the fondest were those GameCube games. The GameCube, just the controller, the system, the games, everything about it. Wario World. God damn, man. There's just a huge list. I could probably list like 30 friggin' GameCube games that I love and that I want to see on this GameCube emulator. One by one, they're going to slowly pull them out. Man, so that's just the one thing. The second thing is just the design of this console itself. Like, people saying the Switch 2 is underpowered. To me, man, have you guys seen what a Switch 2 looks like, man? Have you guys actually seen what this console looks like physically in your hands? Like, the thing is small. I may as well just go get it. Like, this thing is small, man. For this little thing to be able to output 4K 60 or 1080p 120 or 720p 120 in handheld. Like, that's a technological marvel, man. Look at how small this friggin' thing is. I even have my little mechanism attachment on the back here, but look at how small this thing is. This little small tablet ass console is capable of outputting 4K, of running games in 1080p 60 in your hands. Like, that to me is pretty good, considering what it is, right? That in of itself, like, just the design of the console, the mouse controls being a new innovation. Like, I haven't had an opportunity to mess around with it, but just being able to use the mouse controls like this. Just today, they announced Mario Paint is coming to NSO, and it's going to have mouse controls. I think you can use USB mouse or the Joy-Con 2's mouse. And that's cool. There's going to be a whole bunch of people who've never played Mario Paint. Mario Paint, a classic from my childhood, from the Super Nintendo early days of my life. I think my older brother had the Super Nintendo with the mouse controller. And I remembered playing Mario Paint back in those childhood days, and that game would just open up your imagination, open up your creativity. I was the boss, man. I was the boss of that fly game, man. I'm telling you, 7-year-old me would destroy you at that fly swatting game, man. I don't know about right now. But yeah, man, we're getting just the sort of technical innovations that make sense. Like game chat, obviously, has not been the biggest feature to take off in here. People are saying, oh, it's just like Discord. I'll argue it's not quite like Discord. There are some features of game chat, like having people's faces in the game. I think there's something to that. I think there's ways they can use that in multiplayer games to kind of give you an experience that you don't really have on these other games for the most part. I know there are some games with cameras, but like yeah, like you're not really gonna get these types of experiences from just Discord or just whatever you're using to talk to people. So obviously Nintendo, very late to the game, but finally have an actual voice chat option for people. So that in and of itself is cool. And just the games, man. Like Donkey Kong Bananza. Oh my goodness. Can we just talk about this goddamn game? Oh man, I got a system update. We must be having this Nintendo Direct soon, man. Do I want it, like this friggin' game, man? Just like the way this game came out, they just announced, oh yeah, we're gonna have like the first 3D Donkey Kong game, Donkey Kong Bananza, for the first time in 25 plus years. Give it only 3 months since announcement. The game is out. It's a 10 out of 10 game. Everybody's loving it. Yeah, like I honestly think like this game, this system feels like it was made for me. I was one of those people. I'm one of the few people who would say the reason I bought a Nintendo Switch. I'm willing to bet you out of the 150 million people who own the Nintendo Switch, I'm one of the only people who will say this. I bought the Nintendo Switch 1 for Metroid Prime 4 when I saw that E3 Nintendo Direct in 2017. Remember those? Remember E3 Directs? That relic of the past? Yeah, I remember. That was what sold me on the Switch 1 was that E3 Direct because I wasn't sold on Breath of the Wild. I actually think Breath of the Wild I was I was hesitant to try the game because I like the Zelda series. I wasn't one of those big Zelda fans. I was more of a Mario guy. So they won me over with Mario Odyssey, but then also the promise of Metroid Prime 4 and Shin Megami Tensei 5. Shin Megami Tensei 5, a game I've now beaten twice and once on PC. And we still are waiting on a release date for Metroid Prime 4. That better be in the Nintendo Direct, man. So the fact that that game is coming, like, and me, this is the thing about Nintendo people is so many Nintendo people do not come from that background of ever having really played PC games or having played first-person shooters with a mouse and keyboard. I would imagine like most of the big Nintendo people have not dabbled so deep into like mouse and keyboard first-person games. But something like Metroid Prime 4, and I think Prime Remastered should get mouse controls added on too. Something like Metroid Prime 4 is going to open the doorway to so many people getting to try a 120 FPS first person game with mouse controls. I'm sure for a lot of people that's going to be an experience they have never had before. So I'm very excited to see how people react to that game. I'm excited to finally play that game. Going to be able to play it in 120 FPS mode with mouse controls. I'm friggin' pumped. Um, so yeah, that game alone is another reason I feel so excited about the Switch 2. The next generation of Pokemon, whatever the hell it is. I personally was always a Pokemon Scarlet apologist. I always said this game just needed like a new system. And now the new system is here and the game runs dramatically better. Thing is for me is I already had like most of these games. I may as well show some of my library here. But you can see just from my library, man. I have like all these first party Nintendo games already. Like it'll come into focus. Yeah, I got Smash Ultimate that could use an upgrade. Pokken, Mario Kart World, like Metroid Prime Remastered, Tropical Freeze, Pikmin 3, Luigi's Mansion 3. All these games could use even a simple like resolution frame rate boost for the Switch 2, like a patch of some kind. A little bit of extra textures and assets, and that would be fantastic. For me, I'm so excited by just the prospect of upgraded Switch 1 games because I already own most of them. Even if there is a Switch 2 edition I gotta buy, that's gonna be like what, a couple extra dollars for a much better version of the game that I'm now newly excited to play. So there's just so many things about this console that they're doing. Like all these Switch 1 games running better, games that I've been looking forward to for so long, like Prime 4 finally arriving, the next generation of Pokemon, like hopefully made with the Switch 2 in mind so that they fully take advantage of that of the power. And I really hope they work with Monolith Soft to work on this new generation of Pokemon. That would just learn whatever secret sauce Monolith Soft has, man. Y'all just gotta hijack that sauce, man. Give it to the Pokemon Company. Pokemon, a franchise that sells so much more, could use the help from those guys. And even the Xenoblade games, all four of them now on Switch could use like either Switch 2 edition or an upgrade. So my thing is, being someone who's both a PC player and a Nintendo guy, I'm mostly here for the Nintendo games. Maybe once in a blue moon I'll get a third party game, but those third party games, I'd rather just play them on PC. I got a Steam Deck too, I can play them portably that way. So for me, it's like very clearly divided. Nintendo Switch is just for the Nintendo games, and like even if you look through my library, I got a couple third party games like Tony Hawk and Doom 64, but for the most part, I just got like a buffet of first party Nintendo games going on here. So, and the thing is, I'm just such a lifelong fan. I've loved almost every single Nintendo franchise outside of a few exceptions. Star Fox, F Zero, Donkey Kong, Zelda, Metroid, all these things, Mario, obviously. All these franchises I've loved. Like, even the strategy ones, like Fire Emblem Advance Wars. I've loved all these series. Love to see either a Fire Emblem remake or a new Fire Emblem on the Nintendo Switch 2. And yeah, man, just to have this newer, much more powerful system, just a sleek device that you could take anywhere, runs games very well, using that custom NVIDIA chip, and all these games I already own, running better, possibly getting upgraded to be higher res, higher frame rates. I feel like I am the ideal customer for this thing. I feel like Nintendo basically just catered to me. And that's why I feel like the Nintendo Switch 2 was made for me. So I understand people who do not fit all these niches that I have. I'm kind of like, I fit like 12 different things that the Nintendo is gunning for here. Like, not only am I a GameCube guy, I love Metroid. I've been looking forward to Prime 4. I'm looking forward to all these new Mario games. I love Bananza. Looking forward to new Pokemon. Looking forward to whatever Nintendo's got up their sleeve. So, really hoping we see some good stuff coming out of this new Nintendo Direct. Hope it's not all third parties. Hope it's a lot of first party stuff. But, anyways, that's my little rant about why I feel like the Nintendo Switch 2, this magical little console right here. That's why I feel like this thing, it was made for me. Thanks for watching, guys, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And hopefully, I will have some more gaming videos for you guys in the future. Possibly in a new place.